Well, first, thank you so much for all the energy. I think you've just lit up the entire block. Maybe you could start by just telling us, does it feel the same when you're doing this in Peshawar?
Well,
Today it did.
there's a lot more hormonal teenagers back home who want to dance and everything, but we feel like home, exactly like home, yeah.
And what is the context? What is the context for the performances when you're at home? You mentioned weddings or particular events.
We try not to
perform
on weddings. We try to do music for music's sake more. We no private events, but that being said, we have to earn somehow. So we have dinners, corporate dinners, and where there is ticketing for people who can come and see music. We perform on any venue, which which will have us basically, and mostly it's universities. Back home, a law has recently been passed that not more than 200 people can stay in one place and have like a proper music concert or something, and especially in universities and colleges. So what they do is they bypass that by merging it with some sort of other event, for example, a fun fair or farewell party, or could be anything. So that's our bread and butter. That's where we do performances. But that being said, maybe once a year there is a venue which arranges a proper concert, and then we go over there and we have the time of our lives.
And are you performing all over Pakistan?
Yes. We have performed almost in every major city. We've been lucky that we get 3-4 gigs a month. Over here, that's nothing, I hear. But when you tell other brilliant musicians that we get 4 gigs, 3 gigs a month, they're shocked. They're like, "Oh, that's amazing! You guys got 4 gigs." And I don't know why it is, but it's because of the fact that we are normally we try to do our gigs on the weekends, 5 days, 6 days a week, 5 days a week. All of us work. We have jobs, and so this is our fancy night job. Playing in New York.
We're doing this for our
Weekend warriors we are.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm going to open it up to the audience. I'm sure there are questions, and just raise your hand. We are recording this, so do wait for the microphone. This gentleman right here.
Yeah, I have another question about the rawab. There are, you said 3 strings that you pluck?
Yeah, 3 basic strings.
And the fingerboard is not fretted then, is that right?
Frets.
Yeah, okay. Let me show it to you again. It is like 4 frets visible, and there are more frets, which you have to play when you practice it. So you will find the exit. They are invisible, by the way. So
I'm sorry?
There are hidden frets
These
inside.
are hidden frets in it. When you are practicing it, so you will find where it is exactly.
So we have 4 frets.
You have 4 visible.
4 frets which are visible.
Right.
And then when you play, it's like further on, it's more like a fretless
10 to
instrument.
15,
Yeah.
Okay.
maybe, yes.
10 to 15 more frets inside
Yeah.
the fretboard, but you have to be good enough to not hit the wrong fret. Yeah.
Right. And then how are the sympathetic strings tuned?
As I told you, this is actually more classical in folk instrument. So the concept which is being tuned is like classical. So like I play a sargam on it. So it is another thing, scale you can say. I tune it to a specific scale, and and then with the one notes like. So I tune the one string with the one note, second with the second, third with the third, and just go on. So we have 8 notes. So.
Yeah, and it depends upon which scale and mode you are in. So if you're in one mode, you can, we call them back home scales, and modes we call them rags. And it depends upon which rag you're using. So you can tune it to a specific rag. For us though, to play it with the guitar, we have the lower string is an E, which is the same as the guitar. Then the upper one is B, again same. Top string is F sharp. So it's easier for him to play those strings, and the rest he's tuned with or the musical notation. So you know all the natural notes, C, D, E, F, and onwards, back to C again. Yeah. Welcome.
I think there was a question right here.
Hi. So you talked about hormonal teens in Peshawar, and that's so I assume they're the ones who are most buying into the music.
Yeah.
How is reception from the older audiences who are not really tuned to mixing classical music?
Surprisingly, everyone has given us the same response.
Yeah, it's been good because everyone just wants to dance and have fun, and it's not like the guitars are overpowering the rabab. The main instrument is the zilbagle and the rabab. The guitar just gives it a rhythm and a background. That's it. And this is a question which has been asked before, that what do the old masters think and the classical people think? Well, if they are truly, they love their music, they will understand that it needs to evolve. And folk music is dying out and it needs to evolve. And this incremental evolution is something they digest very easily. So it's amazing for us, and teens, old people, Punjabi, Sindhi, everyone gets in on the act when the people are dancing.
So then just a follow-up question, how do you compete against more of the mass market?
Well, we don't compete, that's the thing. You see, we just play to have fun
Try
and
to
have a good
stay,
time.
Try to just stay non-commercial.
Yeah,
And it's not
that's
about
it.
competing. We weren't competing, and we're here in New York performing for you guys. So it's working, I think. Yeah.
And as far as it's really, we feel happy when there are more people coming up, and educated people are coming up and they're taking responsibility on it. Music is not, if you look at it, you could use it for a lot of different things. You use it actually as a medium through which you can communicate a lot of things which, as I normally say, words can't express or explain. They can be misinterpreted, but music is something through which you can say a lot, and it is actually felt. So, if there are other people coming up and they're doing the same thing, so there is no threat, and it's a good thing. Why not?
Yeah, why not?
So
And
it's a good thing.
to round it off, there is no music curriculum back home. No music curriculum, no copyrights, no state-run recording studio, no state-owned university. Maybe there's one which teaches musicology. And it's the Eastern tradition is all vocal. It's given to you vocally. You can't write it down. So, most of it. And you have these gharanas. I'm sure you have an idea. But the problem with that, it makes it very, very difficult. And it's a dirty sort of a business to do. And if you make this your only bread and butter, you're going to be, it's going to, all the people that have made it to the top have gone through an extremely difficult road. And this is what they do. For us, our reality is a bit different. We need to have a job. We need to be a bit more stable. Because in Pakistan, anything can happen. They banned YouTube on us. So people who had a music video coming out, were ready to, be the mass market monsters, and the YouTube was banned, and that's it. Then they have to find jobs and everywhere. So, it's difficult. Yeah. Back there.
All right,
back
yes,
there.
in the back.
I'm sorry.
My question is for Farhan. How did you, first of all, beautiful performance. Thank you so much, because we don't always get to hear Pashtun music here. It's wonderful to hear you guys. Dare, shukriya.
And beautiful dance. Thank you.
Absolutely. So my question is, when did you get into playing the rabab? Was it something that was encouraged by your family, or did you have to seek out? Was this something you've been doing since childhood?
Okay, thank you. This is most questions which has been asked in many platforms from me. Going back to 2006, during that time, the folk music was been dying, and how I started, believe me, I didn't have any love for the music, but I had a rubab which I gifted to a friend, and the next day, his father, when he took that rubab to his home. So his father broke that instrument and expelled him out of the home. Didn't get out. And following day, his father gifted him a guitar and quoted that this is the new instrument and you will look modern. In 2006, it was the problem that this instrument was mostly slogan as an instrument of illiterates. because majority of people who used to play this instrument were not educated, right? They don't have a decent job, and they played in low functions, and there were no respect for a musician at that time. So the parents were, reluctant to tell and they were reluctant to teach, to allow their children to learn an instrument. And that's why I thought that, now I have to work for this instrument, because many of music instrument back home is being vanished away. Like, I'll name it druza. Druza was a flute in which was used to be made from a wheat stem. Zarnosh was the last player, and there are only 7 songs you will find, and now no more druza and no more druza player in Pakistan. Now this is an international responsibility. That's why we are here. We presented our profile to the State Department, and it liked us that we are promoting our folk music and folk instrument. Now in 2008, 2009, I joined this band, and we thought that we should modernize it. So for the first time, I gave a Western touch to rubab, and that was being liked by youth. And it was a good experiment, because it gave us an edge to present it to the more wide international community. So that's why now we in today is 2014. I'm very happy that we have got success on our goals and our missions, which we have thought for, which we have started our music for. Today the parents call me that they wanted to get a rubab for their children, and so this is really inspiring for me. Yeah.
I just have another follow-up to that. I'm sorry. So I know that you play this really other very unique instrument. And do you have any plans of maybe passing that on or teaching, or are you currently teaching other students how to play?
Yeah, I have. I'm a self-taught, so I don't know about this theory, but I have my own concept of teaching rubab. So I used to. The people, often the students, contact me on Skype, on Facebook, and I just pass them the lessons. Also, I'm the first one who just composed the lessons, edited the lessons, and uploaded on YouTube. So you can search rubab lessons, and you will find there. So yeah.
I'm going to ask one last question. You've now been here in the U.S. for 2 weeks. 3 weeks.
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
We don't really know.
So I'm just wondering, what are some of your impressions? Were the Americans and the American audiences what you expected? Were there any surprises?
Kind of, yeah, we were surprised. Because coming, like this, as you say, like they have toured abroad, like mine was actually my first tour away from home. So there is this natural thing in your head, how would the music, like what would be the reaction? It's not about how the Americans especially would react and everything, because back home we've had association, we work with the international NGOs and everything, we've worked with that, so you kind of have an idea about that, and living and communicating with different foreigners. But our basic was how would the music be like looked up as? But let me tell you, I'm being honest to you, wherever we've been, the response have been tremendous. It has seriously been more than like what I've expected. The hospitality, the love that we've got, it's like, I don't know, it will, as they say, when you go back home, that is when it'll hit you. And already wherever we go, wherever we leave that place, I start missing that place. So thank you very much for everything.
Thanks, guys.
Loved every minute of it.
And we would like to thank Lisa Booth, who has brought us here to Pakistan. Thank you. And to carry on from Aamer's answer, thank you, Lisa, for booking us in places where the people had open mindsets and they were open to music. Because as in every country, there are places which are not welcoming for the arts. You have them here, we have them back in Pakistan, but it's been an incredible journey. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all. Another big hand for Khumariyaan.